it is impossible to figure out what to listen to. On Good Pods, you follow your friends and podcasters to see what they like. That is the #1 way to discover new shows and episodes. You can find Good Pods on the web or download the app. Happy listening.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
Hi, I'm Mike, founder of DollarShaveClub.com. What is DollarShaveClub.com? Well, for $1 a month, we send high-quality razors right to your door. Yeah, $1. Are the blades any good? No. Our blades are f***ing great. Each razor has stainless steel blades, an aloe vera lubricating strip, and a pivot head. It's so gentle a toddler could use it. And do you like spending $20 a month on brand name razors? 19 go to Roger Federer. I'm good at tennis. And do you think your razor needs a vibrating handle, a flashlight, a back scratcher, and 10 blades? Your handsome-ass grandfather had 1 blade and polio. Looking good, pop up! Stop paying for shave tech you don't need. And stop forgetting to buy your blades every month. Alejandro and I are going to ship them right to you. We're not just selling razors, we're also making new jobs. Alejandro, what were you doing last month?
Not working.
What are you doing now?
Working.
I'm no Vanderbilt, but this train makes hay. So stop forgetting to buy your blades every month and start deciding where you're going to stack all those dollar bills I'm saving you. We are DollarShaveClub.com, and the party is on.
I know karate, I know jiu-jitsu and drive like a gangster when I'm coming to see you, see you, see you, see you.
Celebrity designer Jeff Lewis is back with Hollywood House Lift.
I'm excited to be working with new clients.
I'm not getting rid of that.
I hope I never see you both again.
An all-new season.
Those have to go. That has to go.
From oh, wow,
It's been an actual nightmare.
to oh, wow.
This is such an upgrade.
With celebrities like Josh Duhamel, Christina Ricci, and Gina Rodriguez.
Dazzle me, Jeff.
It looks like Chuck E. Cheese.
Stream an all-new season of Hollywood House Lift with Jeff Lewis, now streaming on Freevee.
I am Conor McGregor, multiple weight MMA champion. I'm a fighter and I've been through many battles in the octagon. Many consider my fights in the octagon heroic, but the real life heroes are those men and women who fight to protect us every day. The real life fighters, the real life heroes, are the firefighters and police officers. These first responders are true heroes, because these brave men and women put themselves in the line of danger every single day protecting us all. The Tunnel to Towers Foundation ensures that first responders from fire, EMS and police departments who are killed in the line of duty with young children have a home without the burden of a mortgage. They are my heroes. They need our help today. I'd like to ask you to join me in donating $11 a month to support their efforts. Your $11 a month honours and supports our first responders. Please call now at 1-844-BRAVEST or visit tunneltotowers.org.
I'm Jordan Klinger, an attorney at McIntyre Law. The decision to hire an attorney after you've been injured is important. The decision on who to hire is even more important. At McIntyre Law, we will settle a case if the offer to our client is fair. Partial justice is no justice at all. At McIntyre Law, we are committed to obtaining full justice for our clients. Contact McIntyre Law at 405-917-5200 or visit us at mcintyrelaw.com.
The following program contains coarse language and adult themes. Listener discretion is advised.
I know you're with it. I'ma send it straight to Swat.
Welcome into the program, ladies and gentlemen, whether you are listening through KLRnradio.com, one of our many podcast outlets, or through Facebook, X, Rumble, or YouTube. Welcome, 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 welcome. And before anybody yells at me, I have broadcast licenses. Let them come at me. I don't even care anymore. Anyway. So we're here. So anybody's like, oh my God, he's playing real music. Yes, I have the licensing to do that. If you don't report it, I'll take care of it. I don't really care. But go ahead, report it. I don't care. Anyway, so we're here. We're live. And it's Friday. It's May 31st, 2024. It's the last day before we fall into the month of debauchery, otherwise known as Gay Pride Month here in America now. But for those of you who are wondering, America was irrevocably changed yesterday. We used to call ourselves a nation of laws. Now we are a nation of motives. No more, no less, because they didn't come after Donald Trump because he did things that were wrong. I'm not saying that he didn't do anything wrong. I'm saying they didn't do enough to prove that he did. The only thing that he admitted to was trying to protect his business and trying to protect his reputation. If we're going to start putting people in jail for that, everyone that's made more than $1 million is going to have that happen to them. So I'll let you decide if that might not be part of the motivation or not, because I'm really starting to wonder. All right, so we're going to start with something that I put out on X today. For those of you that can actually see stuff, you'll be able to see what I'm talking about in a second, because why not? It's part of the reason why we do what we do here now. Anyway, I'm trying to get it squared away before I let you guys see it, though, because otherwise it won't make much sense. Instead of having you watch me flip through screens. But anyway, so because there's going to be some videos and stuff today. So for those of you keeping up with everything, on the home edition or whatever, this is something that I have been saying for a long time. And if you want to read along with me, you can. I've said it before, and I'll repeat it. Real Donald Trump, that's his ad on Twitter, don't judge me, was supposed to take it on the chin in 2016. It's the only explanation for Bill Clinton asking him to run. He ran in the same circles, but had no idea how bad things were. And at some point, probably once he started getting briefings, he figured out the left planned to brand him a traitor, throw him in jail, and ensure a one-party rule for the indefinite future. A la, Johnson, if I get these in-words to vote for us, then they'll vote for us for the next 100 years. Yes, I'll be nice and censor it today. You can see when the shift happened. If you watch his old speeches, he went from threatening to have the military kick in doors on command and saying he could shoot someone in cold blood and still get elected. He started to run an actual race. Still boorish, but not Dr. Evil style anymore. This is punishment for him going off the reservation. I said what I said, and I live on one, so... And it is what they wanted to do the entire time. So, my dear Zexy mofos, which is what I call the people of X now, occasionally Zexy bitches, but anyway, never doubt that things would have been no different if he had withdrawn this time. He was going to be made an example of regardless. And this is why they spent 8 years poring over every aspect of his life, looking for anything they could possibly find to hang around that man's neck to make him pay. I was still honestly only about 90% sure until I found out that Hillary Clinton is actually also, I guess I should minimize that because it's going to be confusing if I don't. Until I found out that Hillary Clinton was also heavily involved in the running of the Biden administration. This has all been planned. This was planned from the beginning, and I'm about to unpack it for you. So fasten your seatbelts. There's a reason I went back to sabotage. That was my intro for most of the 2016 cycle. It's probably going to be my intro again. And yes, before anybody yells at me, I have broadcast rights to use it. So shut it. Anyway, so on that note, yet again, especially knowing what we know now, knowing that the CIA and the FBI colluded to try to undermine the Trump campaign going all the way back to 2015. We know that now. We've seen the paper trail. We know it to be true. This was the insurance policy that Straussick and Page were talking about, that they were so confident that even if he got elected, it wouldn't last long because he knew that everybody that agreed with them was going to come after him with everything that they had. But you also have to ask yourself, why were they so concerned? I don't think they were part of the inner circle, but I think they knew that this was never supposed to happen. Donald Trump was never supposed to win the 2016 election. He was supposed to take it on the chin. I'm going to say that until everybody finally believes me, because all the evidence is finally here. I've been saying this since 2016. After I sat and watched him during my first CPAC, first convention of that size I had ever covered was the CPAC in 2016. I had to think, because 2015 was when we did a SRLC here. So 2016, February of 2016, I believe it was February of that year. We're sitting in one of their grand halls with a giant screen set up and a bunch of people in chairs watching this man on a debate stage talking about how he could command the military to go door to door and kick in doors in the regions that we were currently at war in. And they would do it because he was president and because he told them to do it. This is not something someone who is seriously running for president would say. Then just a couple weeks later, he starts coming up with these outlandish things about how Ted Cruz's dad is the Zodiac killer and blah, 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 blah. Or was it Ted was the Zodiac killer? I think his dad was supposed to be on the grassy knoll or something. And then it turns out, Ted Cruz was a philanderer, or his wife was, or something. And I don't know. Anyway, at the time, I wrote an article for American Action News and basically said if he had said that about my wife at the time, I would have marched up on the stage, waited for the cameras to go live, turned around, knocked the crap out of him, threw my hands up in the air, looked at the cameras and said, if this is the asshole you want, you can have him. I'm out. You don't talk about a man's wife that way. That's just how things are where I'm from. I understand, and it was brought to my attention by some friends that I have who are from New York, that not everybody has the same standards that we do. But it's one of the reasons why he grated on my nerves so badly for most of 2015, 2016. The reason I say all of this to you, and I need you to understand me when I tell you this, I have never been MAGA. I have agreed with the concept of MAGA. I think the idea of making America great again is an awesome idea because America hasn't been great for a very long time. And part of the reason that America hasn't been great for a very long time is because nobody really knows what it means for America to be great anymore. Because everybody thinks America sucks. Everybody below a certain age thinks communism is the way to go, Che Guevara is a hero, and America is the devil. We need to change that, which is why even if I've never tacked on the label before, I have at least agreed with a lot of the sentiments. I am telling you this right now. After yesterday, I am MAGA. Full on buying the shirt, getting the hat, wearing it everywhere I go in public, probably going to find a Trump mask and just run the bitch out like I own the place because I'm done. And the thing about it is, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think people have figured this out yet, but a lot of people agree. Because they can see the tea leaves, even if the people in the mainstream bubbles can't. And the simple fact of the matter is, this was somebody in power going after someone else for no other reason than because they dared to not do as they were told. This goes back to 2015, 2016. He was told to take it on the chin, and at some point he didn't. Now, you can be upset with him because he's never going to admit it, and I don't know this for 1,000% certainty, but I'm telling you as of right now, I am pretty much 99.9% sure with everything that's come out and seeing everything that's happened and seeing the fact that the Sixth Amendment was thrown out the window to get this man. You guys do realize that, right? No one still knows what the underlying felony charge was that was able to get these 34 other charges coattailed and dovetailed into a felony. No one knows. His attorneys don't know. The jurors didn't mention it. Donald Trump sure as hell doesn't know, which is a direct violation of the Sixth Amendment of the Constitution. So while Joe Biden is taking his victory lap, and we're going to let you hear some of that in just a second, because he did. He said he wasn't going to do it, but he did. Not really surprised that he did, if I'm being honest. but he did. All right, let me get it set up again because I turned off screen sharing because I figured out that a lot of you that were watching were seeing nothing but the same thing. So hang on just a second. Remember, it's all just me. So if things take a second, it's because I'm running the boards, I'm doing the sound, I'm doing all the things. So let's see, which one is that? Nope, that's not it either. Oh, there it is, I think. Yeah, that's the one I'm looking for. Okay. All right, so you guys should be seeing it now, and here comes the video.
No one else has that opportunity. That's how the American system of justice works. And it's reckless.
Except it was in the wrong spot. One moment, please. I don't know if it'll let me back it up.
It's dangerous.
All right, bear with me for a second. I had it queued up. I swear I did. I don't know what happened.
They found Donald Trump guilty on all 34 felony counts. Now he'll be given the opportunity, as he should, to appeal that decision just like everyone else has that opportunity. That's how the American system of justice works. And it's reckless, it's dangerous, it's irresponsible for anyone to say this was rigged just because they don't like the verdict. Our justice system has endured for nearly 250 years. And it literally is the cornerstone of America, our justice system. The justice system should be respected, and we should never allow anyone to tear it down. It's as simple as that. They found Donald Trump guilty on all.
All right, so there you have it. Now, and I'm sorry, I got distracted, so I don't remember if this was part of the cut or not. But one of the things that I absolutely loved hearing today was hearing this man talk about how the rule of law and our justice system should be respected. This is the same guy that does an in-round on the Constitution on the daily. He just did it again. The Constitution says no. Or, I'm sorry, not the Constitution too, sort of. But SCOTUS. He's done an in-run around SCOTUS now on 3 or 4 separate occasions regarding his whole scheme to buy votes through student debt forgiveness. So I need you to understand this is a man who talks out of both sides of his face. Even if you think that is true of Donald Trump, this man is just as bad, if not worse. Because at least you can kind of tell when Donald Trump is doing it. This man sounds like a doting grandfather, which is also, I want to remind you, why he's not currently facing charges for stealing classified documents as a senator. It's one thing to talk about a president doing it, because a president, especially in this day and age, can basically say, magic wand declassified, suck it. Yay, Patriot Act. But a senator can't do that. And yet he's had documents in his possession for decades. But the rule of law needs to be respected, y'all. It's just that simple. The rule of law has to be respected. It just has to. There's no other ifs, ands, buts about it. All right, so we're gonna take our first break of the day, first official one anyway. And hang on. Sorry, learning new equipment. Don't judge me. I mean, I guess you can, but it's not really gonna matter. Let's see. What do I want to go to break with? Why not? This one's always fun. All right, folks. First break of the show. Rick Robinson Show. Friday, May 31st, 2024. And I'm already being asked in my text channel if I'm going to make up for the 2 hours I missed yesterday. Maybe partially. I haven't decided yet. All right, folks, stay tuned. You're listening to us live on KLRNradio.com and through pretty much every streaming platform of your choice at this point. And we will be right back.
You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
Hi, everyone. This is JJ, the co-founder of Good Pods. If you haven't heard of it yet, Good Pods is like Goodreads or Instagram, but for podcasts. It's new, it's social, it's different, and it's growing really fast. There are more than 2 million podcasts, and we know that it is impossible to figure out what to listen to. On Good Pods, you follow your friends and podcasters to see what they like. That is the number one way to discover new shows and episodes. You can find Good Pods on the web or download the app. Happy listening.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
Hi, I'm Mike, founder of DollarShaveClub.com. What is DollarShaveClub.com? Well, for $1 a month, we send high-quality razors right to your door. Yeah, $1. Are the blades any good? No. Our blades are f***ing great. Each razor has stainless steel blades, an aloe vera lubricating strip, and a pivot head. It's so gentle a toddler could use it. And do you like spending $20 a month on brand name razors? 19 go to Roger Federer. I'm good at tennis. And do you think your razor needs a vibrating handle, a flashlight, a back scratcher, and 10 blades? Your handsome-ass grandfather had 1 blade and polio. Looking good, Pop-Up! Stop paying for shave tech you don't need. And stop forgetting to buy your blades every month. Alejandro and I are going to ship them right to you. We're not just selling razors, we're also making new jobs. Alejandro, what were you doing last month?
Not working.
What are you doing now?
Working.
I'm no Vanderbilt, but this train makes hay. So stop forgetting to buy your blades every month and start deciding where you're going to stack all those dollar bills I'm saving you. We are DollarShaveClub.com, and the party is on.
I know karate, I know jiu-jitsu, I drive like a gangster when I'm coming to see you, see you. See you, see you.
Celebrity designer Jeff Lewis is back with Hollywood House Lift.
I'm excited to be working with new clients.
I'm not getting rid of that.
I hope I never see you both again.
An all-new season.
Those have to go. That has to go.
From oh, wow,
It's been an actual nightmare.
to oh, wow.
This is such an upgrade.
With celebrities like Josh Duhamel, Christina Ricci, and Gina Rodriguez.
Dazzle me, Jeff.
It looks like Chuck E. Cheese.
Stream an all-new season of Hollywood House Lift with Jeff Lewis, now streaming on Freevee.
I am Conor McGregor, multiple weight MMA champion. I'm a fighter and I've been through many battles in the octagon. Many consider my fights in the octagon heroic, but the real life heroes are those men and women who fight to protect us every day. The real life fighters, the real life heroes, are the firefighters and police officers. These first responders are true heroes because these brave men and women put themselves in the line of danger every single day protecting us all. The Tunnel to Towers Foundation ensures that first responders from fire, EMS and police departments who are killed in the line of duty with young children have a home without the burden of a mortgage. They are my heroes. They need our help today. I'd like to ask you to join me in donating $11 a month to support their efforts. Your $11 a month honours and supports our first responders. Please call now at 1-844-BRAVEST or visit tunneltotowers.org.
The following program contains coarse language and adult themes. Listener discretion is advised.
Shots, 80, 90, everything they've got. But the whiskey don't kill like it's supposed to do. Baby, your memory must be bulletproof. There ain't no way I'm driving home. I'm 3 sheets, don't tie one on. But this liquor ain't strong.
And welcome back into the program, ladies and gentlemen. If you've been hanging out on the stream, you never really left. For those of you that aren't on the streaming side, you got some commercials. Anyway, so we're back. We're live. Hope everybody's having a great Friday. And we still have a lot of things to talk about today. Unfortunately, most of them are not going to be... I usually try to have more fun on Fridays. but I'm kind of feeling pretty serious right now. So yeah. Anyway, let's see. Let me get this fixed because everything good is behind paywalls anymore, so I need to sign in. One moment, please. All right, so let's see what we're going to talk about first. So this is from Daniel Horowitz. I'm going to go ahead and get this set up to share for those of you watching. Since you can't see my face yet, I might as well let you participate as much as possible. At least that's my assumption anyway. If you don't, you can tell me if you disagree. Not that anybody really wants to see my face anyway, as I used to have on my Twitter bio, face made for radio, voice made for print, and the occasional stunt double for the Michelin Man. Although I am working on that round thing quite a bit more than anything else. All right, so this is from Daniel Horowitz, Dateline today, May 31st, 2024. Red state governors, attorneys general, and legislative leadership can stop politically motivated prosecutions from blue states and cities in their tracks, but they need to act. Gone are the days when political bias was checked at the courthouse door. The rule of law has been drained of any meeting, as we have seen with the Derek Chauvin trial, the federal prosecutions of January 6th and abortion protesters, and now Donald Trump in Manhattan. The defendant cannot get a fair trial or impartial jury in a blue jurisdiction if he finds himself on the wrong side of the political divide. He is guilty by virtue of who he is. As recently as 2016, the U.S. Supreme Court vacated the conviction of former Virginia Governor Bob McDonnell on corruption charges. The decision was unanimous, despite the defendant being a prominent Republican politician. Even liberal lion Ruth Bader Ginsburg signed off on the court's ruling that the statutory term official act was too broad to rope McDonnell into corruption charges. Without decisive legislative action by conservative leaders, trials involving political issues in blue cities will be biased and corrupt even in red states. So I'm going to stop right there for a second, because this is something that I don't feel like is being pushed enough by the people on our side that understand that the Sixth Amendment is basically gone. One of the protections of the Sixth Amendment is not just that you are allowed a trial by jury of your peers for certain crimes that can involve imprisonment. It is that you are to be allowed and entitled to a jury of your peers who are impartial. Now, everyone knows it's almost impossible to be 100% impartial. But you cannot tell me that most, if not all, of these New York jurors were impartial. The prosecution did everything they could to keep anyone from the case, as far as a juror, that might have any predisposed leaning towards Trump at all. I mean, if we're really going to start making prosecutions political, then we really need to start remembering that impartiality is actually supposed to be part of what is constitutionally considered a fair trial. Or was, until yesterday. All right, so such an outcome appears no longer possible in blue America today. This, more than anything else, is why we need a national divorce. Well, the truth is, we're already in the middle of a national divorce. It's just very one-sided. Blue jurisdictions don't follow the law or the Constitution, and most of their residents are brainwashed into political tribalism. It's time red states responded in kind. Red state governors, attorneys general, and legislative leadership should announce a plan to make their states sanctuaries for people facing political persecution in blue states. Local indictments like those from Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg require state trooper involvement for extradition. A state or a city's law enforcement officials need permission to arrest and extradite a citizen in another state. That's why Florida Governor Ron DeSantis announced he would not participate in any attempt to extradite Trump. In the end, it didn't matter. Trump surrendered himself. Get ready for political persecution. States should convene special sessions in response to the Trump verdict to pass a law granting criminal defendants facing extradition the right to appeal directly to the state's attorney general by claiming political persecution. If the attorney general determines that the charges are prima facie political, or that the law being used by the blue state is unconstitutional, the determination would have the effect of barring any state law enforcement from facilitating the extradition. Now, he did use the word prima facie, so just to make sure you guys understand what that means, that's actually literally Latin for on its face. In other words, looking at it, if it's political, then they don't have to follow it. I'm not trying to talk down to anybody. I just speak Latin, and sometimes I forget that not everybody knows what that stuff means. Radical Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer last year signed HB 4129, a law that criminalizes intimidation of elected officials. What could possibly be wrong with that? The statute defines intimidation based on the perceived feelings of the alleged victim. I'm told out-of-state residents who have sent adversarial emails to Michigan officials have already been targeted under this act. In a sharply divided country, such a law could be used to silence scores of political opponents. It's a superb example of why a red state attorney general should be empowered to vacate any extradition based on a plainly unconstitutional law. Then, of course, red states need to fix their blue city problem. Do we ever? We're going to get into Oklahoma's biggest blue city problem after the next break, because, oh my God, did the Daily Oklahoman step in it today. Fulton County, Georgia prosecutor Fannie Willis, I said what I said, charged Trump and 18 others with racketeering and conspiracy to unlawfully change the outcome of the 2020 presidential election. Atlanta is a big blue island in an otherwise red state. Likewise, Texas is full of large blue cities, notably Austin, where Daniel Perry was convicted of murder in 2023 for defending himself against an armed Black Lives Matter mob surrounding his car. Governor Greg Abbott pardoned Perry earlier this month, noting that Texas has one of the strongest stand-your-ground laws of self-defense that cannot be nullified by a jury or a progressive district attorney. That was a happy outcome, but it shouldn't be a comforting one. Without decisive legislative action by conservative leaders, trials involving political issues in blue cities will be biased and corrupt, even in red states. So the first thing we need to do, in my opinion, and the article goes on to say this as well, we need to start weeding out bias. Defendants could theoretically assert a violation of the 14th Amendment's Equal Protection Clause as a practical matter. However, the courts have made it almost impossible to succeed in a claim of selective prosecution under the Equal Protection Clause. With that in mind, red state legislatures should pass the Political Targeting Prosecution Act, which would give defendants the opportunity to present evidence of political targeting based on animus for the individual's religious or political beliefs. For example, if defendants could show how no violent BLM or Antifa rioter was charged with obstructing law enforcement during a public disturbance, it would trigger a motion to dismiss based on unequal treatment. Likewise, states need to make it easier for defendants prosecuted in blue cities to assert political bias among jurors. Ding, 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 ding. I have a bell sound effect here somewhere. I'm not going to mess with it. Anyway, so a defendant should be entitled to a pool of jurors in which at least 1/3 of the members belong to his political party. Otherwise, the guarantee of a right to a jury of one's peers rings hollow. Pretty sure I just said that. In short, we need to make red states as red as blue states are blue. Blue states do whatever they want regardless of the law. It's time we apply equal and opposing force. I never in a million years thought I would be saying this, but I agree. After yesterday, we don't have a choice. We don't. I have been trying to tell everybody for years now that the right has been playing by Marcus of Queensberry rules while the left's been involved in a street fight. That doesn't even apply anymore. Because they don't care how they win as long as they win. They don't care who they hurt as long as they still win. Now, I'm not ready to go quite that far, but we do need to start protecting our people. Because whether we want to admit it or not, we are officially, as of yesterday, 2 separate countries. Because you have a side that still believes the rule of law should apply and that people should have the right to fair trials and impartial juries and jurors. And you have the other side who thinks as long as they get the outcome they want, it was a fair trial. I mean, the only thing that makes this different than Star Wars is I don't have a lightsaber or a spaceship yet. And I'm pretty sad that I don't have a lightsaber or a spaceship yet. All right, let's see. Probably going to do one more quick hit because we're taking breaks a little bit off top and bottom today. All right, so this is interesting. Let me see if they have any video for it. And they do, so I'm going to let you guys watch that instead. Ha! All right, hang on. Actually, I think I'm still sharing the screen. Let me check. And I am. So that works even better. All right. So, going to give some props to the other group that I'm founding that officially launches Monday. That would be the Digital Beacon. You can find us on X, by the way. If you guys are following along, all of the important stuff's right down here. Anyway, I don't even know if you guys can see my mouse. I think you can. I think I saw it earlier when I was recording something. Anyway, all right. So, here we go. Maybe. I don't think it'll let me do it from this side.
Meet Oklahoma congressional candidate Paul Bonder, who lives in Texas? That's right. Bonder lives in a Dallas.
You know what? I was going to skip this,
he even
but
voted there in March.
If you're listening from Oklahoma or watching from Oklahoma, you need to hear
seat in
this.
Oklahoma. Who's he fooling? Bonder running as an Oklahoman doesn't make him an Oklahoman. It just makes him a phony. Don't be fooled by Paul Bonder's load of Texas bull. Americans for Security PAC is responsible for the content of this ad.
It just seems to me, it just makes sense.
Actor Dennis Quaid, who I mentioned is coming out with this new Ronald Reagan movie, he went on Piers Morgan's show, and Piers asked him who he's going to vote for.
What do you think of Trump?
I think I'm going to vote for him.
Really?
Yeah, in the next election. Yes, I am.
Are you ready for the blowback?
Well, yeah.
Which inevitably comes
well,
with Trump?
you know, I think in this election, everybody's got to, I think they're going to take a side or whatever, but it's, it just seems to me, it just makes sense. I was ready not to vote for Trump until what I saw is more than politics. I see a weaponization of our justice system.
Yeah.
And a challenge to our Constitution, us as Americans, that I don't think we're going to have. And, you know, Trump is the most investigated person probably in the history of the world. And they haven't been able to really get him. People might call him an asshole, but he's my
I mean, look, you shouldn't vote on what an actor thinks, for sure. I think we're...
All right, so I'm not going to... I mean, it's not a very long clip, but I don't really want... I mean, you know, it's Ruben's clip, so I probably should have let him keep talking. But anyway, not gonna. But so here's the thing that I'm starting to see, though. Now, granted, it's happening with a lot of older people in Hollywood, the ones that have made their money and made their mark and now don't really have to worry about whether they can work anymore or not. Now, there are still the others. You know, we had the entire thing with De Niro earlier in the week, so that was fun. Kind of was, because I made fun of him for days. Poor Bobby D losing his mind. But I got nothing. I really don't. I mean, look, I said this yesterday for the little bit that we talked about it on Jen and Rick, and for the little bit of coverage that I did when the verdict broke, because we are trying to launch a news organization along with the political opinion stuff. I was not surprised by the verdict. I was surprised by how obvious they made it, but I wasn't surprised by the verdict. But the reason it worries me that they made it so obvious is because it proves that they don't think you matter anymore. They think that what you think doesn't matter at all anymore. And they don't care. Because they don't have to care. Because we haven't made them care. Now, you guys can be mad at me, you can scream, you can yell, you can do whatever you feel like you need to do. But it's time for us to realize that we don't live in the same America that we lived in before yesterday. Now it's time for us to start figuring out where we go from here and how we go forward. And unless we are ready to flip that switch, because, you know, we talk about this all the time, for the left, violence is a dial. So they start at a certain level and then they ratchet people up and ratchet people up and ratchet people up. For a lot of us that just want to be left alone, which are most of us on the right, violence is a switch. And I think we're getting dangerously close to that switch being flipped. So I think we need to figure something else out. We need to figure out how we are going to move forward from here. One of the ways that I think we do is exactly what was just talked about in that article. Do I think anybody's got the stones to do it? Maybe in Florida. Maybe in Oklahoma. Maybe. I would like to think otherwise. But it's really hard to with everything that we've been watching happen over and over and over again. All right, so let's do this. We are going to take another break. I need to figure out how to turn my phone screen off from going to sleep when I'm doing radio because it's kind of a pain. Hey, that could be fun. I don't know how fitting it's actually going to be. But since I do another show called America Off the Rails on Sunday nights, let's go to break with some, let's see, it's called Off the Rails with, looks like Brantley Gilbert. All right, so we're going to take a break. You're listening to The Rick Robinson Show live right here on KLRNradio.com. For those of you on the stream, you're going to get spared the commercials again. For those of you listening to the feed, you don't have a choice. All right, taking a break. We'll see you guys on the other side. You're listening to The Rick Robinson Show live right here on KLRNradio.com. Be right back.
Tonight we're gonna run it off the rails. Look here, I'm up in here with my bandana.
You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
Hi, everyone. This is JJ, the co-founder of Good Pods. If you haven't heard of it yet, Good Pods is like Goodreads or Instagram, but for podcasts. It's new, it's social, it's different, and it's growing really fast. There are more than 2 million podcasts, and we know that it is impossible to figure out what to listen to. On Good Pods, you follow your friends and podcasters to see what they like. That is the #1 way to discover new shows and episodes. You can find Good Pods on the web or download the app. Happy listening.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
Hi, I'm Mike, founder of DollarShaveClub.com. What is DollarShaveClub.com? Well, for $1 a month, we send high-quality razors right to your door. Yeah, $1. Are the blades any good? No. Our blades are f***ing great. Each razor has stainless steel blades, an aloe vera lubricating strip, and a pivot head. It's so gentle a toddler could use it. And do you like spending $20 a month on brand name razors? 19 go to Roger Federer. I'm good at tennis. And do you think your razor needs a vibrating handle, a flashlight, a back scratcher, and 10 blades? Your handsome-ass grandfather had 1 blade and polio. Looking good, Pop-Up! Stop paying for shave tech you don't need. And stop forgetting to buy your blades every month. Alejandro and I are going to ship them right to you. We're not just selling razors, we're also making new jobs. Alejandro, what were you doing last month?
Not working.
What are you doing now?
Working.
I'm no Vanderbilt, but this train makes hay. So stop forgetting to buy your blades every month and start deciding where you're going to stack all those dollar bills I'm saving you. We are DollarShaveClub.com, and the party is on.
I know karate, I know jiu-jitsu, I drive like a gangster when I'm coming to see you, see you, see you, see you.
celebrity designer Jeff Lewis is back with Hollywood House Lift.
I'm excited to be working with new clients.
I'm not getting rid of that.
I hope I never see you both again.
An all-new season.
Those have to go. That has to go.
From oh, wow,
It's been an actual nightmare.
to oh, wow.
This is such an upgrade.
With celebrities like Josh Duhamel, Christina Ricci, and Gina Rodriguez.
Dazzle me, Jeff.
It looks like Chuck E. Cheese.
Stream an all-new season of Hollywood House Lift with Jeff Lewis, now streaming on Freevee.
I am Conor McGregor, multiple weight MMA champion. I'm a fighter and I've been through many battles in the octagon. Many consider my fights in the octagon heroic, but the real life heroes are those men and women who fight to protect us every day. The real life fighters, the real life heroes, are the firefighters and police officers. These first responders are true heroes because these brave men and women put themselves in the line of danger every single day protecting us all. The Tunnel to Towers Foundation ensures that first responders from fire, EMS and police departments who are killed in the line of duty with young children have a home without the burden of a mortgage. They are my heroes. They need our help today. I'd like to ask you to join me in donating $11 a month to support their efforts. Your $11 a month honours and supports our first responders. Please call now at 1-844-BRAVEST or visit tunneltotowers.org.
The following program contains coarse language and adult themes. Listener discretion is advised.
Melting too. How about you? I've never been the favorite, thought I seen it all till I got my invitation to the lunatic ball, and my friends are coming too. How about you? Don't worry, it's all just a symptom of being human.
Welcome back in. For those of you listening through KLRradio.com, I hope you guys are having a great Friday afternoon. Good Lord, I almost forgot what day it was. I think it's because I want to erase Thursday from my memory. Oh my God. Anyway, so couple things to get into that I'm going to get pulled up here in a second. First of all, there was a hell of a donations pump for Donald Trump yesterday. I think last I heard they'd raised almost $37 million overnight. I gave. Did you? All right. Anyway, so enough of that. All right. So we're back. We're live. It's Friday. You got about 10 minutes to top of the hour. For those of you working for the weekend, if you're on the East Coast, you got about an hour left. If you're if you're in God's time zone, you got a little over 2. If you're on the West Coast, why the hell haven't you moved yet? And Mountain, nobody cares. Sorry, they always complain about being the redheaded stepchild of time zones, so I have to make them feel appropriate. All right, anyway, so let's keep things rolling here, and let's see. So I'm just going to say this again. When you've lost CNN. So this is from Matt Vespa at Town Hall. If there's one legal analyst I can tolerate on CNN, it's Eli Honig. Honig is a former assistant U.S. attorney and the network's senior legal analyst who has given nuanced and fair takes on the legal drama surrounding Donald Trump and Joe Biden. He's not a conservative or a Trump fan, but I take a sensible analysis of the lawfare we've seen against Trump over whatever the hell Norm Eisen was spewing last night. All right, so we're going to get this changed over so the folks that are watching can follow along. Eventually. There we go. All right, and... All right, you guys should be able to see it now. And here we go.
And here's what I discovered.
Yes.
That in the most serious FBR cases, a sentence of imprisonment is routinely imposed. This is the most serious falsifying business records case in the history of the state of New York. I think Alvin Bragg is going to ask for a sentence of incarceration, and I think Judge Merchan will very seriously weigh that.
So the special treatment, you're saying, would be if he were not given a prison sentence.
Right. And I think Judge Merchan will look at the case. We've debated this.
Well, that wasn't the audio that I thought it was, but, or the video, I guess. Sorry, I'm used to saying audio. But, anyway, so let's keep reading, because, yeah, that wasn't what I expected them to say, but holy crap. The funny part about Eisen is his enjoyment of the perspective this prospect of potentially jailing Donald Trump. As Honig and others noted, that's unlikely to happen. Second, Eisen got everything wrong about this verdict and its implications. In a lengthy piece in New York Magazine's Intelligencer, Honig offers his take on the matter, plating it as such. It's possible that the jury did its job and the legalese used to charge and convict Trump was an unmitigated disaster. Both sides can have their issues with that conclusion. It's hard to argue that the jury did its job when the verdict was already baked into the cake. When this legal circus began, on the other hand, for the raving anti-Trump wing, Honig doing a line-by-line takedown of what motivated the prosecution might ruffle some feathers. It could outright infuriate the left, since Honig is confident of two things. Trump won't go to jail over these charges, and he has a good chance of having the verdict reversed on appeal. Honig, for all his praise of the jury's duty being a former prosecutor, torched Bragg's team for essentially making up charges to convict Trump. He doesn't outright say it, but the links at which they defined the crimes Trump was convicted of is suspect via the same article from the New York Magazine Intelligencer. Both of these things can be true at once. The jury did its job, and this case was an ill-conceived, unjustified mess. Sure, victory is the great deodorant, but a guilty verdict doesn't make it all pure and right. Plenty of prosecutors have won plenty of convictions in cases that shouldn't have been brought in the first place. But they won is no defense to a strained, convoluted reach unless the goal is to win, now by any means necessary, and worry about the credibility of the case and the fallout later. The following are undeniable facts. The judge donated money, a tiny amount to be sure, $35, but in plain violation of a rule prohibiting New York judges from making political donations of any kind to a pro-Biden, anti-Trump political operation, including funds that the judge earmarked for resisting the Republican Party and Donald Trump's radical right-wing legacy. Would folks have been just fine with the judge staying on the case if he had donated a couple of bucks to re-elect Donald Trump, MAGA forever? Absolutely not. District Attorney Alvin Bragg ran for office in an overwhelmingly Democratic county by touting his Trump-hunting prowess. Be very, very quiet. I'm hunting Lord Spoitan. He bizarrely and falsely boasted on the campaign trail, "It is a fact that I have sued Trump over 100 times. Disclosure, both Bragg and Trump's lead counsel, Todd Blanche, are friends and former colleagues of mine at the Southern District of New York. Most importantly, the DA's charges against Trump push the outer boundaries of the law and due process. That's not on the jury. That's not on the prosecutors who chose to bring the case and the judge who let it play out. That's on the prosecutors who chose to bring the case and the judge who let it play out as it did. The district attorney's press office and its flacks often proclaim that falsification of business records charges are commonplace, and indeed, the office's bread and butter. That's true only if you draw definitional lines so broad as to render them meaningless. Of course, the DA charges falsification quite frequently. Virtually any fraud case involves some sort of fake documentation. But when you impose meaningful search parameters, the truth emerges. The charges against Trump are obscure and nearly entirely unprecedented. And in fact, no state prosecutor in New York or Wyoming or anywhere has ever charged federal election laws as a direct or predicate state crime against anyone for anything. None. Not ever. Even putting aside the specifics of election law, the Manhattan DA itself almost never brings any case in which falsification of business records is the only charge. Standing alone, falsification charges would have been mere misdemeanors under New York law, which posed two problems for the DA. First, nobody cares about a misdemeanor, unless it's sex, because then the more you misdemeanor you get. Sorry. Dad joke moment. And it would be laughable to bring the first ever charge against a former president for a trifling offense that falls within the same technical criminal classification as shoplifting a Snapple and a bag of Cheetos from a bodega. Second, the statute of limitations on a misdemeanor, 2 years, likely has long expired on Trump's conduct, which dates to 2016 and 2017. So to inflate the charges up to the lowest level felony, Class E, on a scale of Class A through E, and to electroshock them back to life, clear, with longer felony statute of limitations, the DA alleged that the falsification of business records was committed with intent to commit another crime. Here's the problem. Even if the falsification was committed in the attempt, or was done in the attempt to commit another crime, nobody ever outlined what that other crime was. Here, according to prosecutors, the another crime is a New York State election law violation, which in turn incorporates 3 separate unlawful means: federal campaign crimes, tax crimes, and falsification of still more documents. And exclusively, the DA refused to specify what those unlawful means actually were, which, by the way, is a direct violation of the 6th Amendment of the Constitution, and the judge declined to force them to pony up until right before closing arguments. Honig found that the controversy over defining another crime, which stemmed from this case, campaign finance angle, inexcusable. So much for the constitutional obligation to provide notice to the defendant of the accusations against him in advance of trial, he wrote. He also touched upon what Bragg's team called this trial, the zombie case, because of various legal infirmities, including its bizarre charging mechanism. It's better characterized as the Frankenstein case, wrote Honig, cobbled together with ill-fitting parts into an ugly, awkward, but more or less functioning contraption that just might ultimately turn on its creator. It's CNN. We're not going to get hardcore MAGA takes on this stuff, but I think Mr. Honig did a good job, albeit unintentionally, showing how Bragg veered outside the constitutional norms to convict Trump on charges based on fairy tale law. What Trump has been convicted of, the class of felony, is no worse than shoplifting a Snapple from CVS, as Honig put it. So everyone, and by that I mean leftists, relax. Trump is still not going to jail in the foreseeable future, and this event could have given the former president a huge boost, since most saw this trial as a sham. The FBI raid on Mar-a-Lago secured the former president the Republican nomination before the first GOP ballot was counted. Could the Bragg verdict help Trump clinch the presidency? It could, and I do believe it may have. We'll actually be getting into that at the top of next hour. You know what? I'm just going to do this way this time because it's easier. Because I was reading and didn't queue anything up. So, let's see. We'll do this one. This one doesn't really have any talk. Too many moving parts. Apparently, I forgot to unmute for the KLRN folks. For God knows how long. All right, we'll be right back. Maybe. Or I may just go crawl in a hole now. I don't know yet.
You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
Hi, everyone. This is JJ, the co-founder of Good Pods. If you haven't heard of it yet, Good Pods is like Goodreads or Instagram, but for podcasts. It's new, it's social, it's different, and it's growing really fast. There are more than 2 million podcasts, and we know that it is impossible to figure out what to listen to. On Good Pods, you follow your friends and podcasters to see what they like. That is the #1 way to discover new shows and episodes. You can find Good Pods on the web or download the app. Happy listening.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
Hi, I'm Mike, founder of DollarShaveClub.com. What is DollarShaveClub.com? Well, for $1 a month, we send high-quality razors right to your door. Yeah, $1. Are the blades any good? No. Our blades are f***ing great. Each razor has stainless steel blades, an aloe vera lubricating strip, and a pivot head. It's so gentle a toddler could use it. And do you like spending $20 a month on brand name razors? 19 go to Roger Federer. I'm good at tennis. And do you think your razor needs a vibrating handle, a flashlight, a back scratcher, and 10 blades? Your handsome-ass grandfather had 1 blade and polio. Looking good, pop up! Stop paying for shave tech you don't need. And stop forgetting to buy your blades every month. Alejandro and I are going to ship them right to you. We're not just selling razors, we're also making new jobs. Alejandro, what were you doing last month?
Not working.
What are you doing now?
Working.
I'm no Vanderbilt, but this train makes hay. So stop forgetting to buy your blades every month and start deciding where you're going to stack all those dollar bills I'm saving you. We are DollarShaveClub.com, and the party is on.
I know karate, I know jiu-jitsu, I drive like a gangster when I'm coming to see you, see you, see you, see you.
Celebrity designer Jeff Lewis is back with Hollywood House Lift.
I'm excited to be working with new clients.
I'm not getting rid of that.
I hope I never see you both again.
An all-new season.
Those have to go. That has to go.
From oh, wow,
It's been an actual nightmare.
to oh, wow.
This is such an upgrade.
With celebrities like Josh Duhamel, Christina Ricci, and Gina Rodriguez.
Dazzle me, Jeff.
It looks like Chuck E. Cheese.
Stream an all-new season of Hollywood House Lift with Jeff Lewis, now streaming on Freevee.
I am Conor McGregor, multiple weight MMA champion. I'm a fighter and I've been through many battles in the octagon. Many consider my fights in the octagon heroic, but the real life heroes are those men and women who fight to protect us every day. The real life fighters, the real life heroes, are the firefighters and police officers. These first responders are true heroes, because these brave men and women put themselves in the line of danger every single day protecting us all. The Tunnel to Towers Foundation ensures that first responders from fire, EMS and police departments who are killed in the line of duty with young children have a home without the burden of a mortgage. They are my heroes. They need our help today. I'd like to ask you to join me in donating $11 a month to support their efforts. Your $11 a month honours and supports our first responders. Please call now at 1-844-BRAVEST or visit tunneltotowers.org.
My son was in the Army back during Desert Storm, but even then he wanted an MBA. He looked at a dozen schools, but only one offered the online education and flexibility he needed while he was in a tent in Iraq. Grantham University. Turns out that Grantham's been delivering affordable, relevant college and advanced degrees for over 65 years. Heck, if they can deliver a quality education to a soldier in a tent overseas, think about the flexibility Grantham can offer you so you can earn your degree too. It doesn't matter how complicated or full your life is, if getting a degree is on your bucket list, you'll want to do what my son did. You'll want to call Grantham. Find out how easy it is to get started on your education so you can check that college degree off your bucket list. Call Grantham right now, 800-910-1370. That's 800-910-1370. Flexible, affordable, relevant. Call 800-910-1370.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
Attention business owners and independent contractors. This is a money-saving message from Tax Mediation Services. If your business owes $20,000 or more in taxes, we can help you today, right now. Listen, dealing with the IRS is no picnic. It's an intimidating and extremely stressful process, and you don't want to go it alone. Our attorneys know every law, every tax break, and every possible opportunity to help you resolve and reduce your tax debt. And if you owe more than $20,000, you may be at the top of their hit list. So don't take your tax debt lightly, because it will not go away on its own. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, your home, and even shut down your business. Call our tax experts today at 1-800-783-0810 and let us deal with the IRS while you focus on your business. That's 1-800-783-0810. Again, that's 800-783-0810.
The following program contains coarse language and adult themes. Listener discretion is advised.
Am I the only one here tonight? Shaking my head and thinking something ain't right. Is it just me? Am I losing my mind? Am I standing on the edge of the end of time? Am I the only one? Tell me I'm not. Who thinks of taking all the good we got and turning it bad? Hell, I'll be damned. I think I'm turning into my old man. Am I the only one willing to bleed or take a bullet for being free? Screaming what the fuck at my TV for telling me, yeah, you're telling me that I'm the only one willing to fight for my love of the red and white and the blue, burning on the ground. Another statue coming down in a town near you, watching the threads of old glory come undone. Am I the only one not brainwashed, making my way through the land of the lost, who still gives a shit and worries about his kids as they try to undo all the things he did? Am I the only one who can't take no more screaming? If you don't like it, there's a fucking door. This ain't the freedom we've been fighting for. It was something more. Yeah, it was something more. Am I the only one willing to fight for my love of the red and white?
Starting to feel kind of lonely around these parts, not gonna lie. Welcome back in. KLRN Radio is the Rick Robinson Show, live every Monday through Friday, except for the first Monday of the month, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern. And then later tonight, I will be back doing He Said, She Said with the lovely Aggie Rican at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, otherwise known as Aggie Time, because pretty much every show she does starts at the half hour. But what are you going to do? She's become one of the station divas, and she's earned that right. Anyway, so we're here, we're live, and I thought we were going to do This Week in Democracy, but since I've already done three shows this week, I ran out of content. So we will not be doing a This Week in Democracy. We'll see what he starts putting out starting next week. So let's see what else we can talk about real quick. Anyway, want to again thank everybody for taking the time to tune in, no matter where you're listening from. Especially, it's more fun when you guys are listening live. So for those of you who do listen live, thank you very much. Whether you decide to do that or listen to the Memorex versions over on pretty much every podcatcher known to man, thank you so much for doing that too. Because we are in a push to grow our brands extremely over the next few years, because I have officially fully retired and am doing this kind of stuff full time now. I know I'm an idiot. I don't even, some days I'm like, why did I do those things? Oh wait, there was something else that I wanted to play. That's what I lost. I knew there was another video I wanted to play. I got to find it now though. Hang on. All right, so let's see. Let me get it queued up for those of you watching. Let's see. Share the screen. All right. So it's not going to be great for those of you watching the video version, because I didn't take the time to open it on X, but we're just going to play it anyway. So here you go. It's really more of a visual, so for those of you on the radio side, you're going to be like, what the hell? But I promise I'll describe it in a minute.
Thank you very much.
Mr. President, can you tell us, sir, Donald Trump refers to himself as a political prisoner and blames you directly. What's your response to that, sir? Do you think the conviction will have an impact on the campaign? We'd love to hear your thoughts, sir.
Should he be on the ballot, sir?
All right. So for those of you watching, you saw it. He turned and looked at the camera and smiled about as big as the Cheshire Cat, which was kind of creepy, especially when you stop and think about it. Because for the guy who keeps saying, I didn't have anything to do with this, I didn't have anything to do with this, I didn't have anything to do with this, to have that look on his face just seemed a little weird to me. Maybe it's just me. It could be. You know, I do see things differently than some folks sometimes. So maybe it's just me. But I don't think so. I don't think so. All right, so let's see what else we can talk about real quick. All right, so this is PJ Media, kind of mirroring what The Blaze put out earlier today. This is actually from 2 p.m., so it's only been live for a little over an hour. It's time to go after the left more ruthlessly and truthfully than ever before. This is Chris Queen, PJ Media. Hang on. Let me do this again. I keep forgetting you guys can see this stuff now. At least some of you can. So it's only fair that I let you, I guess. I don't know. All right. So there's the top of the article. Oh, yeah. If you're seeing this, go there. Click that link now. 60% off VIP membership. Ends today. 60%. And you help keep people like me having other gigs, because I work for the same organization. So just saying. It's time to go after the left more ruthlessly and truthfully than ever before. We now live in a world where it's possible for a party in power to target its enemies with lawfare and win. Never in American history has there been such a patently obvious attempt by a sitting president to silence his rival. One effect of Donald Trump's conviction is that it should get some people off the sidelines. MAGA, MAGA. Oh, wait, sorry. And ready to speak out against the Biden administration's injustice. A lot of Republicans who had their doubts about Trump will likely swing his way now. Back in 2016, raising my hand, you can't see it yet, but someday soon you'll be able to. I was skeptical of Donald Trump, and I wrote about that right here at PJ Media. He proved me wrong in the White House, and I became a supporter. Even as I was willing to call his balls and strikes on him, I had hoped we might get another Republican, might give another Republican a chance in 2024. But when Trump vanquished all comers, I came to believe that he's our best bet for defeating Biden. And now, here we are. My home state governor, Republican of Georgia, Brian Kemp, summed it up. From the beginning, this prosecution of trial have been driven by partisan politics. Despite today's events, the ultimate verdict is up to the American people on November 5th, when they will have a clear choice on the future of our country. There is no other choice this year. The left is doing everything it can to game the 2024 election in its favor, even at great risk of the scheme backfiring on it. It's up to us to trigger that backfire. The left couches many of its policies under the guise of freedom, but left-wing freedom is markedly different from the freedoms that regular Americans want. For the left, freedom is the ability to kill babies and convince children that they're not who God created them to be without telling their parents. The rest of us want the freedom to live our lives without government interference. We want to be free to speak our minds without fear of the government enacting reprisals against us because we disagree with the government's narrative. Now, we know that if you're enough of a threat to the left will go after you. Biden rails against MAGA Republicans and the threat to democracy, but we know... Okay, sorry, I was paranoid for a second there again. Now, we know that if you're enough of a threat to the left will go after you. Biden rails against MAGA Republicans as a threat to democracy, but we know that his administration has targeted plenty of people it doesn't agree with. MAGA Republicans is just a code phrase for anyone who stands in our way and stands in our way of unchecked power. Earlier today, my friend and colleague Stephen Green reminded us that stacking the deck in a court of law against a political opponent wasn't too divisive for Democrats. This is why we need to go after the left even more ruthlessly than we ever have before. We can't let these people get away with what they've done to Trump and what they could do to any one of us. And that's the editorializing here a bit. That's the part that I need you guys to understand. This isn't about Trump anymore. If they can do this to him, they can do it to you, and you don't have a bottomless checkbook to stand up against them. I mean, truthfully, he doesn't really either, because they're doing everything they can to drain everything that he has. But he still has the financial ability to stand up, the lawyers that are willing to help, the accountants that can help make sure that not all of his money gets seized, etc. You don't have those tools. He is the canary in the coal mine, ladies and gentlemen. I've been trying to tell everybody this for a long time. As goes Donald Trump, because the first clue was in 2020 when the ballot fairies started showing up in the middle of the night, and all of a sudden there's these hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of ballots that are Joe Biden only. Donald Trump is the canary in the coal mine. If we cannot figure out how to wrest control away from these power-hungry, crazy people, and I am putting him in that same category too. There's a reason I call him Lord Spraytan. I probably should stop that now, because I don't feel like he deserves it anymore. Damn it, they've made me feel sorry for Trump. How did you make me... How did you make me feel sorry for Trump? Anyway, so back to where I was before. And they could do these things to any of us. We need to call them out. We need to shout the truth about the left and what it does from the rooftops, and we need to be fearless about it. You can count on me and my PJ Media and Town Hall family colleagues to continue to take on the left without fear. Witness Victoria's impeccable coverage of the Trump trial and my reports about the Fani Willis scandal to see that we don't care what the left thinks about us. The truth is too important. You can help us in this mission, and this is where they start pitching for VIP. So since I've already done that, I'm not doing that again. But yeah, just scrolling back up. Look, right there, bright red, exclusive offer, 60% VIP membership, last chance. Just go there, click on it. It's easy. I was actually a member before they took me on as a freelancer, so it's worth it in my opinion. They give you single sign-on if you do the gold membership, which now would be the perfect time to do that, because it's going to be super cheap. You get single sign-on privileges for every single town hall site, which means you can go in and read all the comments now. Come on, that's worth it alone. Just saying. Some of them are not nice. We've been told we have to be. but they're not. All right, let's see where we are. 'Cause, yeah, I didn't pre-read that one, so I didn't expect it to be a pitch. All right. So this happened as well. Let's see what the dateline was for this one. Oh, this is today. So apparently a venture capitalist has donated to Trump and is prepared to lose friends. This is, again, PJ Media. Looks like Catherine Salgado is the byline. Interesting. A Silicon Valley venture capitalist just donated hundreds of thousands of dollars to Donald Trump, and he's even willing to lose friends to support a man he thinks will prevent the death of freedom. In an article posted to X, Sequoia Capital partner Sean McGuire, I told you guys I would start calling it by its new name when they changed the web domain, and they finally did, so now I have to keep my word. Anyway, Sequoia Capital partner Sean McGuire strongly urged, speak up, don't be silenced. Freedom of speech is worth nothing if you're afraid to use it. We can't let cancel culture win. In 2016, McGuire feared Trump and donated to Democrat Hillary Clinton by his own account. Now he's giving $300,000 to the newly convicted GOP candidate and saying best of luck to President Trump. While McGuire freely admitted he does not agree on every issue with Trump and Republicans, including on abortion, he sees Trump's election as key to saving the freedoms of America. Back in 2016, McGuire explained that he was disturbed by alleged Russian interference against Clinton and an inappropriate comment from Trump about women. By 2020, the venture capitalist described himself as being disillusioned with both sides. Now McGuire is calling Trump one of the best foreign policy presidents in decades, and insisting that the lawfare against Trump, to be 10 times worse and 10 times more dangerous for Americans than any inappropriate comments Trump has made in the past. McGuire is aware that his public support for Trump could harm him. I know that I'll lose friends for this. Some will refuse to do business with me. The media will probably demonize me, and they have so many others before me. But despite this, I still believe it's the right thing to do. I refuse to live in a society where people are afraid to speak, he wrote. Ironically, McGuire still believes the 2016 election was influenced to help Trump and hurt Clinton, despite evidence since then disproving the Russian collusion with Trump and the all-out media blitz to help Hillary. McGuire cited the leak of Hillary's own damning emails as one proof. McGuire did admit that Trump, like Hillary, has the right to deny election results and that Trump was particularly strong against Russia as president. As further evidence of Trump's international wins, McGuire cited penalties against Iran and the historic Abraham Accords. As an Afghanistan vet, McGuire continued Biden's utterly disastrous... Hang on. That sentence makes no sense anyway. As an Afghan vet, McGuire continued Biden's utterly disastrous Afghanistan withdrawal confirmed for him that he could not support Joe Biden. All the real progress and strategic value of the U.S. presence in Afghanistan was erased as the terrorist Taliban took over, while Americans and Afghans were left to die. Not only that, but two major wars have started under Biden in Ukraine and against Israel. And Iran has benefited from Biden's policies. McGuire explained, I believe that a weak America leads to a chaotic world. The self-described staunch Israel supporter is fed up. The double standards the left has applied to Trump versus Democrats like Joe and Hunter Biden and Hillary Clinton also frustrated McGuire. The endless lawfare against Trump from such biased and corrupt individuals as Special Counsel Jack Smith and DA Fani Willis further angered McGuire. Again, I said what I said. Her name will always and forever be Fanny to me. If you don't like it, I don't care. Fairness is one of my guiding principles in life, and simply, these cases haven't been fair for Trump. Okay, so this is where I'm going to take issue with something. If we keep looking at everything through the guise of fairness, we're always going to lose. There is no fair in life. None. I don't know where this concept came from. I don't know how it became a household thing. I remember, even as a kid, that's not fair. First time I ever said that to my now deceased grandfather, God rest his soul, he looked at me and said, in Oklahoma, son, the fair only comes in September, and that's the only fair life's ever going to give you. And that resonated with me. Because life isn't fair. This is why I get so pissed off with the left's idea of equal outcomes. And everybody has the same opportunities. It's just whether or not you're able to capitalize on them. And some people don't capitalize on them because they're terrified to. I happen to have been one of those people once upon a time. I ran from everything that I thought I was supposed to do, all because I was terrified of public speaking. Now I've been on radio stations, I do public speaking events, I do all of this stuff. I've started a consulting firm. We're launching a news organization on Monday. There's just so many things that I have done because I've just decided that they need to get done. And somebody has to do them. All right, we're going to go ahead and take a break. Might as well. It's almost bottom of the hour anyway. All right, so let's get ready to do that, I guess. Hang on. Sorry, I really thought we were going to have... I could have swore I left This Week in Democracy in the pocket, just in case, but I guess I didn't. All right. Anyway, you're listening to The Rick Robinson Show live right here on KLRradio.com. We're going to take a quick break, come back. This is our first one for the hour, so we may or may not take a second one later. I haven't decided yet. Stay tuned.
I keep your photograph, and I know it serves me well. I wanna hold you high and steal your pen, because I'm broken.
You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
Hi, everyone. This is JJ, the co-founder of Good Pods. If you haven't heard of it yet, Good Pods is like Goodreads or Instagram, but for podcasts. It's new, it's social, it's different, and it's growing really fast. There are more than 2 million podcasts, and we know that it is impossible to figure out what to listen to. On Good Pods, you follow your friends and podcasters to see what they like. That is the #1 way to discover new shows and episodes. You can find Good Pods on the web or download the app. Happy listening.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
Hi, I'm Mike, founder of DollarShaveClub.com. What is DollarShaveClub.com? Well, for $1 a month, we send high-quality razors right to your door. Yeah, $1. Are the blades any good? No. Our blades are f***ing great. Each razor has stainless steel blades, an aloe vera lubricating strip, and a pivot head. It's so gentle a toddler could use it. And do you like spending $20 a month on brand name razors? 19 go to Roger Federer. I'm good at tennis.
And do you think your razor needs a vibrating handle, a flashlight, a back scratcher, and 10 blades? Your handsome-ass grandfather had 1 blade and polio. Looking good, Pop-Up! Stop paying for shave tech you don't need. And stop forgetting to buy your blades every month. Alejandro and I are going to ship them right to you. We're not just selling razors, we're also making new jobs. Alejandro, what were you doing last month?
Not working.
What are you doing now?
Working.
I'm no Vanderbilt, but this train makes hay. So stop forgetting to buy your blades every month and start deciding where you're going to stack all those dollar bills I'm saving you. We are DollarShaveClub.com, and the party is on.
I know karate, I know jiu-jitsu, I drive like a gangster when I'm coming to see you, see you, see you, see you.
Celebrity designer Jeff Lewis is back with Hollywood House Lift.
I'm excited to be working with new clients.
I'm not getting rid of that.
I hope I never see you both again.
An all-new season.
Those have to go. That has to go.
From oh, wow,
It's been an actual nightmare.
to oh, wow.
This is such an upgrade.
With celebrities like Josh Duhamel, Christina Ricci, and Gina Rodriguez.
Dazzle me, Jeff.
It looks like Chuck E. Cheese.
Stream an all-new season of Hollywood House Lift with Jeff Lewis, now streaming on Freevee.
I am Conor McGregor, multiple weight MMA champion. I'm a fighter and I've been through many battles in the octagon. Many consider my fights in the octagon heroic, but the real life heroes are those men and women who fight to protect us every day. The real life fighters, the real life heroes, are the firefighters and police officers. These first responders are true heroes, because these brave men and women put themselves in the line of danger every single day protecting us all. The Tunnel to Towers Foundation ensures that first responders from fire, EMS and police departments who are killed in the line of duty with young children have a home without the burden of a mortgage. They are my heroes. They need our help today. I'd like to ask you to join me in donating $11 a month to support their efforts. Your $11 a month honours and supports our first responders. Please call now at 1-844-BRAVEST or visit tunneltotowers.org.
The following program contains coarse language and adult themes. Listener discretion is advised.
Sorry, I kind of fell down a rabbit hole researching. I think I may have been late back from my own break. But if I was, I think it was just barely. Anyway, so we're back. We're live. Hope everybody's having a great Friday. And I apologize for being my own worst producer ever. Dude, it's either laugh or cry. I swear. There's just so much to go over. And it's... Ugh. I keep coming back to the same things over and over and over again, though. We are watching the downfall of our republic. I know we thought that under Obama. Actually, Obama was part of the reason I became politically active in the first place. I have been dipping my toe in these waters since 2009, and then have kind of slowly been waiting, and now just decided to jump into the deep end officially and completely do this as my gig, or gigs now, September of last year. And I've been trying to build things up ever since. So the interesting thing, and I kind of wanted to go over this, so there's a new poll out post verdict. I don't think the left is going to get what they want from this. I really don't. Now, I will admit, as somebody that's been following politics for forever, there's still a lot of real estate between now and November, but I think they may have screwed up. So this is from Fox News. A new national poll is the latest to indicate that regardless of whatever former President Donald Trump was found guilty, or actually I guess this is still from yesterday. So I know there's a poll that, because everybody's been referencing it, but I can't find it. There's a post-verdict poll out somewhere. And it showed him with like a 16-point bump, I think. At least that's what I remember hearing. And I can't find it anywhere. Everything that I've been looking up while I was on the break, but that's why I may have missed my own cue, because I was listening to music instead of listening to commercials. Anyway, the stream side was listening to music too. They were probably making fun of me because I came back with Nickelback. And yes, before anybody yells at me, I have streaming rights to music. Stop it. Anyway, I hate that. And then YouTube will flag me, and I have to send them all the proof and everything. So at some point, I'm probably just going to start sending PodSafe music over there. I'm splitting things off so I can do multiple things going to different channels. Because it's just not worth it. It's really not. Anyway, let's see. So that's not what I thought it was. I thought, because that was just from a couple hours ago, so I thought that was the one I was looking for. I thought I had finally found it, and no. Anyway. The one thing, and I think one of the reasons this became such a we got to do this thing for the left is because Donald Trump has been making dents in traditionally blue areas because of how bad the economy is. This is part of what's irritating me. And please, if you're one of these people, because I have friends that are like this, please understand what I'm about to say is not intended to hurt your feelings. I promise. But after what we saw yesterday, if you are still, well, I don't think either one of them is the right person for the job, then we're going to start having a problem. Because at this point, it's either you help us stop this crazy sumbitch who basically just hijacked our entire justice system for revenge for Hillary Clinton. Guys, this is the part that I didn't... I mean, I suspected it, and I said this earlier, but I didn't connect the dots until I realized that there were reports coming out that both Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton spend a lot of time with the ear of the President of the United States currently. This is Hillary Clinton's revenge tour. That's all this is. Why do you think they keep telling you if Donald Trump gets into office, it's gonna be revenge, 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 revenge? You know what? Until yesterday, I wasn't even looking in that direction. As it stands right now, if he gets in office, I hope he comes after every one of you. Because I'm about to treat this like I'm Liam Neeson, this is Taken, and somebody stole my kid. Because that's about how this feels. Because they have changed this country. And to those of us that have been paying attention, it doesn't seem that way. But for some of you, it's you have the feeling that this changed on a dime. I have outlined on this show countless hours of the times that progressivism started sneaking into this country. And it started a long time ago. And when I start talking about progressivism, I don't mean the warm and fuzzy one the left is always, well, we're just trying to make things better for everybody. No. Progressivism is another word for communism. And the first step to them really getting a foothold was the progressive income tax, which happened in 1913. Now, I'm not going through all that again. I may at some point, now that I have better equipment, I may actually go back through and redo some of those shows in my spare time, not subjecting you guys to making you that have already listened to it again, but only because now that I can hear the difference between my old equipment and the new equipment, I don't like pushing out the old shows anymore. Anyway, that's a me problem, not a you problem. But all I'm saying about every single bit of this is it's time to wake up, and it's time to get off the sidelines. Look, I'm not even telling you that you have to vote for either Joe Biden or Donald Trump. I almost said Barack Obama. Jesus, that's not even what I'm saying. But I am saying just don't sit it out. Now, I will say if you're a conservative and you don't vote for Donald Trump at this point, I don't really know what you're holding your nose for anymore, because we can either get rid of the guy who just tossed the Sixth Amendment out on its ass, wants to tell us that the rule of law should be respected while he's doing an in-run around SCOTUS, or we can put somebody in office who's actually proven that he knows what he's doing. Now, well, Rick, you just don't understand. He's already said he's going to be a dictator from day one. No, he said on day one, because he's going to go undo a lot of the shit that Biden did, and then he's going to go back to doing his job. Kind of like Biden did in February. Remember February 3rd, 2021? I do. Pretty sure if you go back and look, that's the day that he signed all of the executive orders getting rid of every ounce of border protection that Donald J. Trump tried to do through executive orders because his own party wouldn't help him close the border. Because at that point, they didn't want it any more than the left did. Now, thanks to governors like DeSantis and Governor Abbott, the right doesn't have a choice anymore. But you still have folks like my senator, one of them anyway, trying to push this border bill package of his like it was going to save the republic when it was really just an up-jumped amnesty scheme from Oklahoma. But this leads to one of the last things that I wanted to talk about today. Now I have to see if I can find it, so hang on, because I thought I sent it to myself, but I don't think I did. But hang on, I'm sure I can find it. Nope, not going to let me do it anyway. Maybe that's not the one I was looking for. Let's see if this works. Did they already pull it? Oh, anyway. So yeah, there was a hell of a story. Oh, there it is. So of course this is from their opinion column, so take with it what you will. Trump is unfit for the most important job in the world. His felony conviction proves it. That's from Jim Young, a guest columnist on the Daily Oklahoman. So the Daily Oklahoman, just for those of you who may not know this, all 77 counties have gone to Trump every single time he's run for office. Granted, it's only been twice, now about to be 3 times. But still, for a deeply red state, now I will admit, kind of like Texas with Austin and Georgia with Atlanta, there are islands of blue in the sea of red, and that's part of what I think we need to start working on. But this trial demonstrated that the most dangerous thing about Donald Trump is his total disdain for the entire legal, political, and democratic process, which are the foundations of our society. Did you really just... Really? So Donald Trump is now officially a convicted felon, the only president of the United States to be officially designated as such. There are many things about this trial that were revealing about Trump and about our country's current status. The good news is that the trial was conducted with an appropriate amount of decorum. We didn't see violent demonstrations. The judge appeared to maintain control of his courtroom, and the whole process from jury selection to conclusion seemed to be handled properly. Are you fucking high? Sorry. He even exercised some control over Trump's big mouth. The lawyers presented their cases in a professional manner. The jury methodically and efficiently did their duty in weighing the facts, and reaching a verdict. In short, the judicial system of the United States of America worked as it should. Trump's conviction in this trial is more important than just demonstrating his poor judgment and behavior. His immediate reaction to the final verdict was predictable. He has, from day one of the trial to the end, declared that it was rigged, because it was. It is Joe Biden's fault. It is political persecution, because it is. It is interesting and ironic that his reaction to the trial is almost identical to how he reacted to the results of the 2020 election, because those were rigged. Just saying. Which he also lost and continues to declare was rigged, because it was. This trial formally showed that Trump is a cad, a liar, a conniver, and a conspirator who will do anything to deceive the public in the name of personal power and control. The justice system officially found that Trump falsified financial records to hide the truth about his behavior from his fellow citizens, except he didn't. This happened in 2006. 2006. You guys realize that even in 2016, this story was 10 years old. No, actually, you don't. I love the articles like, thoughts on the Trump verdict? We want to hear from you. Trust me, you don't want to hear from me. There was a lot about the trial. There was a lot about this trial to be sad about. I grew up needing to have heroes. It's always been important to me that our president be someone we could admire and look up to as a person of integrity and character. It is disgusting that we had to hear about Stormy Daniels, David Pecker, and Michael Cohen. How can we as a country have reached this point where one of the men we are presented with as a presidential candidate is embroiled in such a ridiculous story? I can tell you, because we now live in a reality television world. And that's just the truth of it. This isn't about what Trump did wrong. This isn't even about potentially what Trump did wrong. This is about, we live in a reality TV world. We subject ourselves to fake things every single day. And we do it willingly. Some of you know what I'm talking about. Or you should. When you watch shows like Pawn Stars, a lot of that is rigged. When you watch, what was the one about Storage Wars? Yeah, remember one of the biggest names in that show got thrown off? And he got thrown off because he admitted that some of the stuff was planted by the producers to make the shows more fabulous. Now he's back, or he was last time I looked at the show. But this is what I'm talking about. We now live in a completely scripted world. We script everything. Social media has allowed us to script our lives. So is it any real surprise that we now want and need a scripted society? Because your life sucks in person, put out your best face on social media and everybody will see that and think that's you. Aggie and I have talked about this on He Said, She Said. With the invention of filters and everything else, it's almost like you don't even recognize anybody anymore when you finally meet them in person. This came up during the dating show we did a little over a month ago. Or actually, I guess it was right about a month ago. And because, everybody's got filters on their pictures or pictures that are from 20 years ago. And then you go to meet them in person and they don't look anything like that. And you're like, what the hell? We got catfished in 2020. We got catfished in 2020 because everybody had COVID fatigue and Trump fatigue. Because, oh my God, can he just shut up for 5 minutes? And what the hell is going on with this virus? And how long do we have until we all die? I remember sitting here every morning for months doing a morning show with Stacey Lennox. It started as a joke. We called it the Kung Flu Spew back then because it was only supposed to be 2 weeks to slow the spread. And we were assuming everybody was going to have to go back to work soon. And that didn't happen. So eventually we rebranded and we were still doing a show called The Daily Dose. But during that entire time, especially during the first 2 weeks, there were some weird news stories coming out. And I've talked about these before. Like I'm sitting here and we're getting ready to do the show and I start pulling up like actual recordings of people claiming that people that they thought were dead from COVID have come back to life. And I remember talking about that with Stacey. I'm like, I feel like we're in the beginning of The Walking Dead and nobody knows it yet. Turns out we weren't in that horror movie after all, or that horror comic or horror TV series or whatever the hell you want to say. But we are in the beginnings of Mad Max, I'm afraid. I don't like saying it. I wish it weren't the case, but it is. Because when our justice system goes, what's left? We have had a code of conduct as a society going all the way back to Hammurabi. And we don't have one anymore. We pretend we do. We tell everybody we still do. And the funny thing is, part of what got Donald Trump in trouble was the fact that he may not have been following that code of conduct either. But is this really something that somebody deserves a felony conviction over? Because what happens when it's your turn? That's a serious question that you need to be asking yourself right now. If you are somebody who is a contrarian, who doesn't believe the left party line BS, then you need to start asking yourself a serious question. What am I going to do when it's my turn? Because they're going to come after you too. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but they are going to come after you. And you need to keep that in mind. As I've been saying throughout this entire program, Donald J. Trump is the canary in the coal mine. As he goes, so the rest of us go. He's been that for a long time. None of us wanted to see it, not even me in the beginning. But I think one of the things that has made me feel the sorriest for this man today, and I'm not saying that he deserves my pity, so please don't think that's what I'm trying to tell you. But I will say that one of the things that has made me feel the sorriest for him today is realizing that he volunteered for this. Whatever his original motivations were, and I do still firmly believe, as I put out on X earlier today, that he was supposed to take it on the chin. Whatever his original motivations were, at some point that changed for him. And at some point he was in it to win it. And the minute he was in it to win it, everybody that counted him as a friend, everybody that wanted him on their shows, everybody that said what a great guy he was, all the way down to Jesse Jackson, who gave him an award years ago for being helpful to the African American community, were now against him. Did he deserve that? Now, again, I'm telling you right now, I think a lot of what changed his motivation was self-serving. But I ask you this again. If I'm right, and let's just assume for the moment that I am, and you were sitting there getting briefings and something came across your desk that led you to start piecing things together, because I know he acts like an idiot in person, on camera. But having been someone who did work where behaving that way was often beneficial, I have a feeling he's not nearly as crazy as he acts on camera. He even may put that air on a little bit around people because it makes it easy for them to take him for granted. I know I did that all the time when I was a private investigator, because everyone just assumed I was an idiot and didn't really worry about why I was there. So it works. So my assumption, my gut instinct is that at some point, probably when he started getting his briefings, I think that's another reason why they're screaming and yelling that he doesn't deserve his briefings anymore. That is going to be problematic, though, because I know there's no constitutional requirement that a presidential candidate can't be convicted of a felony, because I looked. But it is going to make it really hard for him to keep his security clearances, so I don't really know what's going to happen with that either. But that's a fight for another day. But so, again, my assumption is that at some point, when he started getting his briefings, something came across his field of vision or into his orbit that let him understand that their plan was, if he lost, to take all of this Russian collusion stuff and all of the CIA and FBI stuff that they had put together and brand him a traitor and probably even try him for treason. I don't say that lightly, but I need you guys to understand where we are and where we have been for longer than we knew, because yesterday proved it. This isn't about the rule of law. This isn't about holding someone accountable. This is about revenge, because he dared to stand up to the Clintons. He dared to. So he had to have been shown that he couldn't do that. They didn't have a choice. That's what this has been about the entire time. That's why they have spent 8 years going through this man's life with a fine-tooth comb, giving a shout-out to Al, because he made a lot of this point earlier today. But they spent 8 years going through everything that they could find. By the way, that's 2 Cynic Al, by the way. Go follow him on X. He's pretty awesome. Anyway, he also does shows around these parts. Sundays, and I think occasionally on Thursdays or Fridays in the mornings. Usually Sunday evenings. Anyway, but yet this is where we find ourselves. Again, just to recap, we have a president, a former president, who's been convicted of a felony. Never happened in history. Now we have the left screaming and yelling that he's ineligible for office because he's been convicted of a felony. Ladies and gentlemen, the Constitution doesn't say that. There will be hurdles that will have to be addressed somehow, but there's nothing that says that somebody that's running for office as the highest office in the land can't be a convicted felon. Is that probably going to try to be changed soon? I would assume yes. But we also need to think that part through too. I mean, if you agree with this ruling, then of course, if you agree with the rulings of the judge and the verdict handed down by the jury, then of course you think justice has been served. But I need to ask you this question. What was the underlying crime that allowed these 34 charges to be up-jumped to felonies? Because no one's told us. No one's told anybody in the media. Apparently, at some point, the judge told the jurors, at least from something that I was reading, but Donald Trump still doesn't even know. Why is it that the man who is up on charges does not know the extent of the charges that he's up against? That is a clear violation of the Sixth Amendment. There's other things, and I said this at the beginning of the show too, there are other things that were a clear violation of the Sixth Amendment as well. It's not just that he's supposed to have a jury of his peers. There's supposed to be an unbiased jury of his peers. There's no unbiased. Not anymore. Especially not in the People's Republic of New York. Don't yell at me. I don't call it that. My friend Gene does, and he lives there, so I stole it. All right, we are just about out of time. And no, Andrew, I know you were asking, but no, I'm not going to do any makeup because I still have to get ready for Aggie later. So, no. All right. So Andrew has been texting, though, because I've been using the phone to play my bumpers and stuff. I haven't really been able to pull them up. So I do want to do a couple of quick hits for him on the way out the door because he hasn't been able to hang out in the chat today. Miss you, buddy. I still think Trump should just start doing his rallies and news interviews in a prison jumpsuit and throw in some prison tats. I almost agree. I said I wasn't going to say this publicly, but I probably will. I think Donald Trump probably just locked up a good chunk of the black vote because now he's gangster. Dude got hit with 34 felonies and is still alive to talk about it. That's pretty damn gangster. I'm just saying. All right. Anyway, let me see. If anybody thinks this is Andrew again, if anybody thinks this was the right thing to do against Trump, I want them to now look at it as if it was Obama instead of Trump. Is it still the right thing to do? That is an awesome question, my friend. All right. Believe it or not, we're at the end of the road for the day. Well, sort of. I'll be back later tonight doing He Said, She Said with Aggie Reekin right here live on KLRnradio.com. So you guys enjoy the rest of your Friday. For those of you working for the weekend, if you're on the East Coast and you work 9 to 5, you're there. Have fun. If you live in God's time zone, you got a little less than an hour as of now. If you live on the West Coast, why the hell haven't you moved yet? And Mountain, nobody cares. But we've reached the point in the program where I do have to tell you this particular show is over.
What? Over? Did you say over? Nothing is over until we decide it is. Was it over when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor? Hell no!
Closing time. and let you out into the woods.
This isn't over until I say it's over!
Closing time.
Well, that's great. That's just fucking great, man. Now what the fuck are we supposed to do? Game over, man. It's game over.
Closing time. Time for you to go out to the places you will be from. Closing time. This room won't be open till your brothers or your sisters come.
I love you, Oklahoma. What a great crowd. I love you.